Have you ever accomplished something truly meaningful, only to be met not with celebration, but with envy, subtle resentment, or quiet competition? Or perhaps you've encountered people who have a way of draining your enthusiasm, not through direct attacks, but through veiled criticism and unspoken rivalry. If any of this feels familiar, then this video is for you. We're diving deep into the hidden dynamics of envy, manipulation, and other toxic behaviors that can quietly sabotage your personal growth and relationships. More importantly, you'll learn practical, empowering strategies to recognize these patterns, set healthy boundaries, and protect your path to success, so your journey is not just successful, but also fulfilling and peaceful. If you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Your support truly matters. And if you find value in this video, please like and share it. It helps more than you know. If you're enjoying the topic, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make future content even better for you. Not everyone deserves your help. The farmer and the snake. Let's begin with a powerful story. Once upon a time, in a quiet village, there lived a kind-hearted farmer named Joe. Known throughout the village for his generosity, Joe never hesitated to lend a helping hand. One day, while walking through his fields, he spotted a snake caught in a snare. Though he knew the danger, Joe felt a wave of compassion and gently freed the creature. Not only did he save it, but he also brought the snake home, fed it, and offered a safe place for it to heal. But the moment the snake regained its strength, it bit Joe and slithered away without a second thought. Shocked and in pain, Joe came to a painful realization. No matter how much kindness he had shown, the snake remained true to its nature. It bit, not out of malice, but because that's simply what snakes do. This story holds a powerful lesson. Some people, like that snake, do not change, no matter how much help, love, or care we give them. In our eagerness to be kind, we sometimes ignore the warning signs. But not everyone we help will be grateful. That's why it's so important to be wise about where we give our energy. Compassion should never come at the cost of our own well-being. Number 1. The Ingrates. When kindness meets a black hole. Have you ever come across someone who seems to drain the joy from the room the moment they step in? It's as if they carry a storm cloud wherever they go, casting shadows of complaints, bitterness, and dissatisfaction onto everything and everyone around them. You know the kind, the perpetual complainers, the ones who, no matter how lovely the evening, will find fault. From the appetizers to the ambience, from the weather to the playlist. These are the people who cannot seem to experience joy without immediately following it with a critique. So, what fuels this relentless discontent? Psychologically speaking, there's a strong link between ingratitude and low self-esteem. These individuals often view the world through a filter that highlights only flaws, disappointments, and missed expectations. It's as if they're wired to miss beauty, overlook kindness, and ignore positivity altogether. Dealing with people like this can be emotionally exhausting. You give your time, your energy, your care, and in return, you receive complaints, criticism, or worse, indifference. It's like tending to a garden that refuses to bloom no matter how much you water it. As Richard Branson once said, treat others as you would your best customers. In other words, invest your energy wisely. If someone never reciprocates your effort, it may be time to reevaluate where you pour your emotional resources. However, don't confuse ingratitude with constructive feedback. There's a vast difference between a friend who gently points out something to help you improve and someone who constantly devalues your efforts. One helps you grow, the other slowly chips away at your self-worth. Research in positive psychology confirms that gratitude isn't just a nice sentiment. It's foundational to emotional well-being. Gratitude strengthens our relationships, boosts our happiness, and builds resilience. Martin Seligman, a pioneer in this field, reminds us that practicing gratitude isn't just about being kind to others. It's also an investment in our own peace of mind. So, what's the real takeaway here? Navigating relationships with ingrates demands a careful balance between empathy and self-preservation. As Brené Brown wisely notes, true generosity cannot come from resentment or obligation. It must be rooted in clarity, honesty, and intention. That's where boundaries come in, not as walls to keep people out, but as filters to protect your energy, your joy, and your peace. Carl Rogers once said, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." Self-acceptance empowers us to see clearly who adds value to our life and who silently drains it. And if you choose to keep helping someone who may never fully appreciate it, do it not out of guilt or expectation, but from a place of genuine compassion. As Immanuel Kant beautifully put it, act in such a way that you treat humanity always as an end and never merely as a means. Ultimately, dealing with ingrates is about protecting your emotional health while still holding space for kindness. It's not about becoming cold or distant. It's about being wise with your heart. Give freely, but give wisely. Number 2, the lazy. Masters of excuses, killers of momentum. Have you ever met someone who treats effort like an allergy and motivation like a myth? These are the folks who could write an encyclopedia on excuses, anything to avoid lifting a finger. Their couch is their throne, and the TV remote their scepter. Welcome to the realm of the lazy, where productivity goes to die and excuses grow like weeds in an untended garden. Picture this. You're in a meeting, trying to move a project forward, and someone casually blames their lack of progress on, get this, their cat's appetite for motivation. Congratulations, you've just encountered the professional procrastinator. But what actually drives this chronic delay? Surprisingly, science offers a clue. Laziness may have deep evolutionary roots, inherited from ancestors who needed to conserve energy to survive. In an age of hunting and danger, minimal movement made sense. But today, in a world of office chairs and microwave dinners, that same instinct is no longer adaptive. It's a liability. As philosopher William James once noted, nothing is so fatiguing as the eternal hanging on of an incomplete task. Procrastination doesn't just kill productivity. It drains mental energy and fuels stress. Studies show that chronic procrastinators often suffer from higher levels of anxiety and poorer overall health. But let's be fair, laziness isn't always the villain. Albert Einstein once joked that laziness is the mother of invention. And there's truth in that. Sometimes, the drive to avoid effort leads to brilliant shortcuts and innovations. But there's a fine line between creativity and chronic avoidance. So how do you spot someone who's truly lazy, not just tired or temporarily unmotivated? They are excuse artists, able to conjure more reasons to avoid tasks than a cat has lives. I couldn't go to the gym because my bonsai needed a lullaby isn't even their weirdest excuse. To them, tomorrow is a magical place where everything will somehow get done, but that tomorrow rarely arrives. They're masters of leisure multitasking, streaming shows, scrolling endlessly, and complaining about responsibilities all at once. If they could harness that energy, they'd probably solve world hunger during commercial breaks. They look for shortcuts in everything. If an app existed to breathe for them, they'd be first in line. And the snooze button? It might as well be labeled suggestion box. Just 5 more minutes, they plead, until an hour disappears. Now, this isn't to say you should cut off everyone who loves naps or slow weekends, but be cautious. Surrounding yourself with consistently lazy people can dull your own drive. As motivational speaker Jim Rohn wisely observed, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose your circle wisely. If you're the only one moving, you might be a diligent tooth in a mouthful of motivational cavities. In the end, the lazy may be charming, clever, and even funny, but if you're not careful, their energy can rub off on you, and the cost of wasted time is one you never get refunded. Number 3, the irresponsible, masters of blame, strangers to consequence. Have you ever met someone who drifts through life as if their actions have no weight, no consequence? Like they're spectators in a game where everyone else plays and only they get to watch? Welcome to the bewildering world of the irresponsible, those who artfully dodge commitments, deflect blame, and leave chaos in their wake, all while maintaining an air of casual detachment. Imagine this: you're on a sinking boat, frantically trying to plug a gaping hole. Water gushes in, panic rises. Yet one person is lounging on the deck, sunbathing and shrugging. Not my problem. I didn't make the hole. That, my friends, is irresponsibility in its natural habitat. Trying to help such individuals can feel like spinning your wheels in wet cement. No matter how much effort you pour in, progress remains elusive. Their ability to redirect blame is almost admirable, if it weren't so damaging. Often, the emotional toll of helping these people is compounded by reputational risks. You might end up unfairly blamed for the very things you tried to fix. So what can we do? The answer lies in discernment, knowing when to help and how to help wisely. Instead of solving every crisis for them, encourage reflection. Help them see the cause and effect of their actions. Guide them to take responsibility and learn from their mistakes. Neuroscientist Richard Davidson's research reminds us that the brain is incredibly adaptable. Even deeply ingrained behaviors can be reshaped, but only if the individual is willing to grow. And growth takes time. As Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And this education isn't just about books or degrees. It's about learning accountability, resilience, and the value of earning trust. In these moments, patience and self-restraint become vital. Philosopher Bertrand Russell once observed, "The trouble with the world is that the stupid are cocksure and the intelligent are full of doubt. When you're surrounded by irresponsible behavior, it's easy to doubt yourself. But wisdom lies in recognizing when your help is no longer helpful, when it enables rather than empowers." Sometimes, the most compassionate act is to step back. This doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're choosing to set boundaries that protect both your peace and your integrity. Because kindness, when unchecked, can become a crutch for someone else's avoidance. And that's not compassion. That's self-sacrifice without purpose. So the next time you're tempted to fix someone else's mess, pause. Ask yourself, is my help leading them forward or letting them off the hook? Sometimes the answer calls for stepping aside, not stepping in. If you're still here and resonating with these insights, comment 2 below and let me know you're part of this thoughtful journey. Let's keep learning, reflecting, and growing together. Number 4. The Manipulators, masters of illusion, thieves of peace. Have you ever felt like you're playing chess with someone who moves the pieces when you're not looking, then blames you for losing? Welcome to the deceptive world of manipulators, people who twist goodwill into opportunity and generosity into leverage. These individuals don't seek mutual growth or connection. They seek control. Manipulators are not always obvious. They don't storm in with threats. They slide in with charm. They speak softly but carry a sharp agenda. And if you're not careful, you'll find them living rent-free in your emotional space, draining your time, your energy, and your self-trust. One subtle move at a time. So why do some people become so skilled at manipulation? Psychological studies, including those from Stanford University, reveal that individuals with narcissistic or Machiavellian traits are particularly adept at this. It's as if they carry an internal GPS, not one that guides them to truth or empathy, but one that leads directly to self-serving outcomes, no matter the cost to others. Protecting yourself from these emotional pirates begins with awareness. As psychologist Robert Cialdini put it, knowledge is your best defense. Think of your emotional well-being as a fortress. Without solid boundaries, manipulators can walk right in, rearrange your priorities, and sit comfortably in control, while you wonder what just happened. So how do you spot a manipulator in disguise? Here are a few telltale signs. The emotional chameleon. They shift their personality to match whoever they're around, not out of empathy, but as a calculated strategy to gain trust. The gaslighter. They subtly make you doubt your own memory, feelings, or even reality. You'll start asking yourself, was it really that bad? Or am I just overreacting? The self-esteem sniper. Their compliments often come wrapped in disguised jabs. You're actually smarter than you look. These small cuts add up, leaving you second-guessing your worth. The perpetual critic. No matter what you do, it's never enough. Their goal isn't to help you grow, it's to keep you under their control by undermining your confidence. Engaging with manipulators is like walking through an emotional minefield. You may enter with good intention, but you'll leave exhausted, confused, and often questioning your own instincts. So, what can you do? First, remember this. Their manipulation is a reflection of them, not you. Their tactics reveal their insecurities, their fears, and their need to dominate, not your failures. Second, redirect the energy. When conversations spiral into guilt, blame, or confusion, steer them toward solutions and boundaries. Don't defend or debate endlessly. Reclaim your power by refusing to play their game. And finally, know when to walk away. Disengagement isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the decision to stop feeding what drains you. Sometimes, the strongest move isn't fighting harder, it's stepping back with clarity and peace. You owe it to yourself to guard your joy, your energy, and your direction in life. Don't let someone else write your narrative, especially someone who's only in it for their own gain. If you're still here with me and resonating with these truths, comment 3 below. Let's continue learning how to recognize manipulation and reclaim our emotional space with grace and strength. Number 5. The abuser. When help becomes a weapon. Not all who offer a helping hand do so with good intentions. Sometimes, that hand is simply a leash in disguise. The abuser is not always loud or violent. Sometimes, they cloak themselves in concern, in generosity, in guidance. But beneath that facade lies a chilling truth. Control, manipulation, and harm. They mistreat others, emotionally, mentally, even physically, while convincing the world they're just trying to help. It's a toxic illusion. What makes this type so dangerous is the pretense. The abuser may appear generous, even protective, but their real goal is to maintain power, often by undermining the self-worth, independence, and confidence of their victims. They may isolate, gaslight, guilt-trip, or shame others under the guise of care. And when we support these individuals, whether by staying silent, making excuses for them, or enabling their behavior, we become part of the harm. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on justice, virtue, and community, calls us to a higher standard. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, what is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. In other words, when we allow abuse to continue, whether out of fear, ignorance, or convenience, we undermine not only individual dignity, but the fabric of society itself. Personally, few things feel more painful than witnessing someone suffer in silence, manipulated, controlled, broken from within, by someone they once trusted. Abuse doesn't always leave bruises you can see. It can leave deeper scars on identity, self-worth, the ability to trust or love again. I believe, with every fiber of my being, that we have a moral duty to act, to speak up, to protect those in harm's way, to refuse to turn a blind eye, no matter how uncomfortable the truth may be. The idea that an abuser could twist kindness into a tool for dominance, using someone's good heart against them, is both infuriating and heartbreaking. But what's worse is when no one stops them. So, what can we do? We must be vigilant. We must be courageous. We must choose integrity over convenience and justice over silence. Every act of resistance against abuse, no matter how small, is a step toward healing, a step toward justice, a step toward reclaiming humanity where it has been stolen. Because standing up to abuse isn't just about protecting others. It's about protecting what is right. It's about creating a world where compassion is never weaponized and love is never used to control. Let us honor the spirit of stoicism not just in thought, but in action. Let us be the voice that breaks the silence. If this message resonates with you, if you believe we must stand against abuse in all its forms, comment 4 below. Let's build a community rooted in truth, justice, and unwavering compassion. Number 6. The Narcissists. When the mirror matters more than the heart. Have you ever spoken to someone and felt like the conversation wasn't about you or them, but their constant reflection of how amazing they think they are? Welcome to the world of narcissists. Individuals who don't just love themselves, they worship themselves. Interacting with a narcissist is like trying to pour empathy into a bottomless pit. Their ego is grand. Their hunger for admiration is relentless. And their ability to center every moment around themselves is, frankly, Olympic. As one psychologist put it, it's like trying to fill the Grand Canyon with a teaspoon of praise. But don't worry, navigating narcissism is possible. With awareness and the right strategy, you can protect your peace while maintaining your dignity. Studies from Indiana University show that about 6% of people exhibit strong narcissistic traits. That means you've likely encountered them at work, in family, in friendships, even in romance. They can be charming, confident, and magnetic at first. But slowly, their true colors emerge. Every conversation circles back to them. Your victories are treated as threats, and your needs are secondary if they're acknowledged at all. So how do you spot one? They believe the world revolves around them. They turn any moment, yours or theirs, into a monologue of self-praise. They lack genuine empathy, yet they expect endless admiration. They get defensive when others shine, and dismissive when others suffer. Trying to build a balanced relationship with a narcissist is like trying to teach a cat to do your taxes, frustrating and futile. But here's the good news: you don't need to change them. You just need to change how you interact with them. Dr. Craig Malkin, author of Rethinking Narcissism, suggests a powerful tactic called selective validation. It's not about feeding the ego. It's about reinforcing only moments of genuine humanity. When they show empathy, acknowledge it. When they boast or manipulate, stay neutral. Don't feed the octopus. As Bette Midler once said, the ego is a voracious octopus. Don't let it feed on your life. Setting clear boundaries is essential. You're not obligated to be an audience to their endless performance. Your role in life is not to applaud their every move while shrinking your own light. As the saying goes, true confidence celebrates others. Narcissism competes with them. The difference between a healthy ego and narcissism lies in empathy. Confident people lift others up. Narcissists see others' success as a threat. They can't celebrate your wins, because your light makes their shadow obvious. Recognizing this doesn't make you cruel. It makes you wise. So, how do you protect yourself? Limit emotional investment. Don't expect reciprocity where none exists. Redirect the focus. Steer conversations away from self-glorification. Preserve your energy. Choose peace over performance. Reaffirm your worth. Their validation isn't the measure of your value. And most importantly, never sacrifice your joy to feed someone else's vanity. By standing firm in your self-worth, by refusing to be pulled into their emotional orbit, you reclaim your space and your power. If this message resonated with you, comment 6 below. Let's keep learning, growing, and standing strong together in the face of unhealthy dynamics. Number 7. The Opportunists. When kindness becomes currency. Imagine this. Someone enters your life with a smile so warm, words so smooth, and gestures so perfectly timed. It almost feels like fate. But as time passes, you begin to notice something peculiar. They're always around when they need something, but curiously absent when you do. Welcome to the world of opportunists. People who view relationships not as bonds of mutual care, but as transactions. These individuals are masters of charm and calculated affection, presenting themselves as friendly and helpful, while quietly scanning for ways to benefit at your expense. Their generosity, if it appears at all, is conditional, a strategic investment rather than a sincere offering. What makes them especially dangerous is their subtlety. Unlike overtly toxic personalities, opportunists often masquerade as friends, colleagues, or even supporters. But behind the pleasant demeanor lies a mindset of self-interest, one that slowly erodes trust and leaves you feeling used, unappreciated, or simply drained. So how do you distinguish an opportunist from someone who's genuinely in need? The answer lies in their patterns, not just a single moment. Do they repeatedly show up only when it benefits them? Do they expect help without offering any in return? Do they disappear when reciprocity is needed? As psychologist Harriet Breaker once noted, opportunists are skilled at inducing guilt when their expectations aren't met. They don't give, they guilt. Let's look at the signs. They're takers, not givers, always accepting help, rarely returning the favor. They flatter, charm, and make vague promises, but never commit. When challenges arise, they vanish, leaving you to carry the burden alone. They make you feel selfish or cold when you say no, even though they've never said yes to you. Setting firm boundaries is your best defense. You don't owe anyone endless emotional labor or unlimited support, especially when it's not mutual. Start by being clear about your limits, your expectations, and your values. Be willing to ask, what is this person bringing into my life, beyond their needs? Does this connection leave me feeling seen and supported, or simply used? Encourage transparency. Define roles, expectations, and responsibilities up front. Don't be afraid to hold others accountable. True relationships thrive on balance, not obligation. Research in behavioral psychology tells us that opportunists often score high in manipulation and low in empathy. That's a dangerous mix. Left unchecked, these individuals can hijack your kindness, your time, and even your emotional well-being. But here's the good news. When you value yourself, you naturally raise the bar for who gets access to your energy. Your kindness is a gift, not a currency. Your generosity is a light, not a leash. And you have every right to reserve it for those who walk beside you, not just those who pull from you. So, if you've recognized someone like this in your life, it's okay to reassess. It's okay to step back. And it's okay to say, my compassion is not for sale. If you're still watching and find these insights valuable, comment 7 below. Let me know you're walking this journey of wisdom and strength alongside me. Let's keep learning and keep choosing relationships that honor mutual respect over manipulation. Number 8, the envious. When success attracts shadows. Imagine this moment. You've just received life-changing news. Perhaps a long-awaited promotion, a creative breakthrough, or even a windfall of good fortune. Your heart races. Joy floods in. But then, something shifts. The people around you, the ones you thought would cheer the loudest, go quiet. Their smiles falter. The room chills. That's when you realize you're not just basking in success. You're standing in the crosshairs of envy. Yes, envy. It's quiet, corrosive, and often cloaked in politeness. According to a revealing Harvard study, 70% of lottery winners experience strained or broken relationships after their win. The reason? Not money, not status, but envy. That bitter shadow cast by another's joy. But here's the truth. You don't need to win the lottery to trigger envy. You simply have to grow, evolve, succeed, shine, and endure. So you will inevitably illuminate someone else's sense of lack. Psychologist Sarah Pry, in her brilliant book, The Philosophy of Envy, explains that envy isn't just jealousy, It's a perceived injustice, a belief that you have what they deserve. It's not about wanting what you have. It's about resenting that you have it. Ironically, envy isn't inherently toxic. Used wisely, it can be fuel. Thomas Edison once said, "To invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. Replace junk with envy, and you've got a combustible mix. The difference lies in what you do with it. Do you weaponize it or transmute it?" The same is true when we face envy from others. So, how do we protect ourselves in a world where even a simple success can provoke silent judgment? Here's a radical idea. Keep more to yourself. Yes, in an age of oversharing and curated wins on social media, I'm inviting you to do the opposite. Because here's the twist. Studies published in Psychological Science show that when we talk too much about our goals, our brain releases dopamine, tricking us into feeling we've already accomplished them. This makes us less motivated to follow through. Talking can rob you of momentum. But there's more. Sharing your wins too broadly exposes them to judgment, criticism, or envy from those who may not have your best interests at heart. Writer Gore Vidal once said, "Every time a friend succeeds, I die a little." And while it sounds harsh, it reflects a quiet truth. Not everyone is rooting for you. So, what do? We learn the art of selective sharing. Entrepreneur Richard Branson advises, "Trust your instincts. Be selective with your circle. Treat your dreams like delicate seeds. Share them only with those who will water them, not trample them. And when you do share, do so with humility. Inspire, don't incite." There's a subtle but powerful difference between saying, "I got the job," and "I'm excited about this new challenge. I'm hoping to grow." The first invites comparison. The second invites encouragement. Now, how can you spot the envious? Here are a few red flags. The reluctant praiser. Their congratulations sound more like polite obligation than genuine joy. The minimizer. They'll chalk your success up to luck, or say it's not a big deal. The compulsive competitor. Your win becomes their platform to one-up you. The covert saboteur. They smile to your face but subtly undermine you in private. The information gatherer. Their curiosity isn't support, it's strategy. Recognizing these signs is step 1. Step 2. Develop what I call the oyster mindset. Just as an oyster turns a grain of irritation into a pearl, you can transform envy into fuel, not by confronting it, but by evolving in spite of it. Let it polish you, not poison you. Because the truth is this: your worth is not diminished by someone else's discomfort, nor is their bitterness your responsibility. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. So the next time you feel that strange silence after sharing good news, pause. Smile, not out of spite, but out of strength. You are not responsible for shrinking yourself to protect someone else's comfort. Celebrate quietly, grow steadily, protect your joy, and when you do share your wins, let them be gifts, not announcements. Let your journey be the proof, not the proclamation. As Bertrand Russell once mused, "Don't worry about what others think. They care much less than you imagine." So breathe, reflect, rejoice quietly. The loudest success often needs no echo. It simply arrives and transforms everything in its path. Before we go, let me share something incredible. Scientists at NASA have developed a breakthrough 7-minute audio called Genius Wave, designed to help unlock the brain's hidden potential. Imagine stepping into a version of yourself that attracts clarity, success, and joy with ease. One of our subscribers, Nelson, used this tool to rekindle a broken relationship and secure a long-awaited promotion, all by aligning his mind with purpose. Curious to try it for yourself? Click the link in the description below and take your first step toward a transformed life. Now, let's return to what brought us here. Throughout this journey, we've explored 8 powerful personality types that can quietly, or sometimes blatantly, drain your energy. From the lazy and irresponsible to the manipulative, the narcissistic, and the envious. Each one offered more than just a warning. They revealed something deeper about how we give, how we grow, and how we protect our inner peace. But here's the most important part. This isn't just about them. It's about you. What resonated with you most? Was there a moment that made you pause and reflect? Maybe you saw someone else clearly for the first time. Or maybe you recognized a shadow of one of these traits in yourself. That's not a flaw. It's an opportunity. Growth begins with awareness, and awareness is where transformation starts. So, we ask you this. What is one insight from this video that you will carry forward? Whether it's setting firmer boundaries, speaking your truth, or guarding your dreams more carefully, share it with us in the comments. We read every single one. Your words may inspire someone else on their path, just as these reflections may have helped you on yours. If this video gave you new perspectives, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us keep creating content that matters, thoughtful, empowering, and rooted in wisdom. Until next time, stay aware, stay kind, and stay curious. The world is full of complex personalities, but with clarity and compassion, you can navigate it all, stronger, wiser, and more centered than ever before. Thank you for walking this path with us.